Tommy, a point for us today. Do you think that was a fair reflection on the game?
Probably. It was a little bit like the game at their place where they had the upper hand in the first half, but Marcus hasn't had a save to make, and he's picked the one out the net from 25 yards, which we showed that lad did exactly the same thing last week at Ebbsfleet. He's a good player, and it was a route to the goal that we knew they had, so that's a disappointing thing. Yeah, we've had a good chat there. It's been a good informed chat to some younger of our lads. And they've got to understand the game of football is not a perfect science. It's not black and white. There are things that you want to happen that don't happen, and there's things you don't want to happen that often do. But I thought, to a man, the way that we responded at half time, because we started the game really well. The first 5 minutes, we did a great pattern of playing. We got a corner. We never made anything of the corner, but they then had a real long period of pressure, and we just couldn't get out. And everybody will say, well, that we're too deep, or there's lots of factors to it. We talked about it at half time. I was really pleased that the 11 lads who started the game, or the 11 lads who turned the game round. Don't get me wrong, Kwame was massively positive for us. Excuse me. So was Dejan. So I'm pleased with that, with the way they performed as well. But to react like they do to what we give them information-wise at half time, that's the real pleasing thing. And I don't think anybody could argue, possibly Steve, that we probably deserved to edge it, to nick it in the end. I thought we had a Stonewall pen.
Well, talking about the goal, that's a fantastic pass from James Henry, isn't it? And a brilliant finish from Josh Barrett as well. I mean, if you're wanting two players to change a game, it's probably going to be those two this season, isn't it? But that's just the magic we've seen.
Yeah, but it came from a long way back, that, through the middle of their team. And like you said, the second to last pass before the goal is excellent, and then the pass from James to Josh is fantastic. And I think Josh wouldn't mind me saying, I think he should have scored 2 or 3 goals today. He had a really good chance just after half time. And I think en masse as a group, we got into great areas in the second half. In our last ball or choice, maybe it wasn't quite on the money. But listen, I'm really pleased. Like I said, it's almost a rerun of the game at their place. They deserve bragging rights at half time. I felt they deserved to be winning, although it's a worldly strike, and I'd want Marcus to save that. But in the second half, I thought we were really dominant and could have come away with all 3.
A good showing again from the lads to come back from behind. I guess it's disappointing to fall behind.
Yeah, that's the talk we've had up there. We can't keep doing that. I've said this since I walked in the door. I think you'll back me up. But I back my teams to score a goal. We want to score goals. We want to play on the front foot. Again, I'm not blaming anybody for this, but the pitch is absolute horrendous at the moment. It is so difficult to play. If you look at who we're struggling against, it's teams that play forward very quickly and get back on it and play forward again because they're not going to risk passing it around. I believe in the way we play. I believe it's brought us more success than not, and we'll keep working away at it. But it needs to be shorter and it needs to be wetter, because it's them 2 factors there are the 2 single factors that stop me from passing the ball well.
You mentioned Dejan coming on. Obviously, we had Hadi on the bench as well.
Yeah,
when you're coming towards the end of the season, you're going to need bodies, aren't you? So to have 2 players coming back, that must be great.
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely, and I'm delighted that them 2 lads could be there and used if required. Both have trained really hard to get back to be able to be available to be picked. But I want to give a little bit of sugar to Maxwell Mullins. I think he's trained all season as a striker, and he's a good striker, by the way. He's a really good striker. He's a good young lad. His attitude has been absolutely outstanding, and every time he's been on the pitch for me, he gives me 110%. He never moans that he doesn't start every game, and I've gone and talked to him and asked him to play in a position he was familiar with last season, and I've got to say I thought he handled himself really well against one of the best types of strikers, both Madison and Davis at the end there. I thought he controlled himself really well, grew into the game and got better as it went on. So I don't often pick individuals out, but I think Maxwell deserves a pat on the back.
I mean, Maxi is obviously the main figure of that, but you've got Kai as well playing out on the left there. They're roles that these players probably maybe aren't too familiar with. Obviously, Maxi played it last year, but is that credit to those lads for going
I think it's credit to the group. You could argue that I don't look at a player and think he can only play in one position. I know a couple of my midfield players could play in the middle at the back because we would probably pass the ball out more, but I can't on that pitch. So at the minute I need to put somebody who's physically strong and good in the air because we're missing a one. But hopefully we'll be back to full quota in a day or two. We'll see. But the lads will get a rest tomorrow. We'll be Well, you're tucking into your big chocolate eggs. We'll be on the training ground early doors Easter Sunday.